When I left army and I shifted off to a corporate world, there was a huge shift. The challenges were there. It was a dynamic shift. The protocols, what we learned in army, maybe the discipline part, maybe the punctuality, maybe the compassion and all. So it was very easy to incorporate in the corporate side. In army, it is service before self, nation before self. So that was the mantra which grounded me and which helped me to overcome all the obstacles in career.
In our first episode, we are privileged to have with us Colonel Madhumita Dhal, Director of Nursing at Rajiv Gandhi Cancer Institute and Research Center, New Delhi.
What I believe is every individual has a leadership quality. It is you have to identify the best thing in a person. And I believe in teamwork. You cannot work in silo. You be compassionate, be committed to what you want to do, be accountable and answerable for your deeds. Each and every day should be an opportunity for a nurse to learn a new thing. As a leader, it is not that you are just scolding. As a leader, you take them, you mentor them, and you shelter them. You hold their hand and teach them that this is right and this is wrong.
And you shape them.
Yeah.
So what are the toughest realities that nursing leaders must address today? And what bold shifts are urgently required to strengthen India's nursing ecosystem?
It is the nurses who are with the patient. They understand the patient's mental condition. They understand the patient's emotions. They understand what is required for the patient. So they are dedicatedly working 24/7. Sometimes the nurses, they don't eat, they don't drink, they don't get time at all because they are so busy.
Yes.
Right? But we do not recognize those little hard works. We do not recognize those efforts. That recognition as per their dedication is not there. That is what I feel as a leader, that the nurses should be recognized. So the message what I would like to give to the younger generations, to the nurses, is that keep yourself motivated. Learning should be a continuous process, and power your voice and make yourself felt in the society.
Hello and welcome to the Compassionate Voices, the Nursing Leadership Series, brought to you by Voice of Healthcare in collaboration with Polymedicure Limited. The series honors India's nursing leaders, the backbone of healthcare system, whose compassion, courage and leadership shape patient care every day. In our first episode, we are privileged to have with us Colonel Madhumita Dhal, Director of Nursing at Rajiv Gandhi Cancer Institute and Research Center, New Delhi. With over 36 years of distinguished experience, including 23 years of service in the Indian Army's Military Nursing Corps, Colonel Dhal has led across some of the country's most challenging healthcare environments, from frontline service in high-conflict zone to healthcare leadership in leading institutes. Her journey reflects resilience, discipline, and deep commitment to nursing excellence. Welcome to our show, ma'am. It's an honor to have you with us.
Thank you, Simran. Thank you for such an elaborative introduction.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Ma'am, to begin with, we know that you have experience of more than 3 decades into the serving, healing, and leading. So, if I have to ask, what sparked you towards nursing, and what was that moment that made you realize, this is the profession which I want to follow?
See, to be very frank, if you ask me, spark, as a child, when I was in my childhood times, this Florence Nightingale always fascinated me. I used to like the lady with the lamp, that word lady with the lamp, and taking care of warrior casualties from the war, Crimean War, was that fascinated me. And my favorite play was, that with the doctor set. So that was maybe one of the thing. And I thought something good we should do for the society, taking care of people, taking care of sick people, returning back to the society is one of the noble work one can afford to do it. So that is how it was there. And then when I got a selection, the call letter came from College of Nursing FMC Pune that you have been selected for the BSc course, nursing course. So I took that opportunity. I joined the college, FMC, and it was an excitement that, yes, I will be commissioned into Indian Army as a nursing officer. Thing which as a childhood dream I had to serve people, to take care of people, was that, yes, the service will be to a nation. Taking care of the soldiers will be a job to the nation. So that is how
I
it
think
came up.
that's great, ma'am. Your childhood dream was to be, to serve people, to heal them, to help them heal. I think if you have fulfilled it. It's great, because we all feel that whatever we have visioned for us, it should come true, and it has come true for you.
Yes, because Florence Nightingale, the lady with the lamp, was always a figure in my mind.
I think that was the ongoing inspiration.
Yes, maybe.
Ma'am, you have served 23 years in armed forces, and mostly in demanding high risk zone. And if I have to also, take an example of the 1998 Nagaland ambush, that was your leadership in crisis. So all these things give you a different kind of exposure. So what did the army teach you about leadership, courage, and the compassion that no other institution can teach you?
See, when I was commissioned into Indian Army, we knew that our postings will be a peace posting or a field posting. And the tenures will be not more than 2 years, 3 years. So the first thing which Army taught us was adaptability. When you move from one place to another within a period of 2 to 3 years, you do not know where you are going to get posted, at what altitude. So adaptability was there. You adapt yourself, you make up your mental thing that yes, wherever I get posting, I have to get adapted to that place. New environment, new people, everything new. So that adaptability was there. Second thing was courage, right? Because when a field posting is there, that time in the field posting, you're not supposed to take your families and all. Field posting can be like I was posted in J&K when the terrorism was there, in Nagaland when this ambush had happened. So in that made you, very courageous, and made you how to take quick decisions in any kind of scenario and situation that was there. Another one thing which importantly they taught us was that whatever chaos may be, whatever emergencies happen, you have to remain composed. You have to remain calm. Then only once you remain calm and composed, then only you can take the right decision with limited resources. So this ambush part, I just finished my duty, went back to my room, get a message, come back for duty. Because ambush was there, a convoy with 35 soldiers plus was there, and the convoy was, there was a blast. So we got all the casualties, mass casualties. And I still remember the casualties when in such a stage, we had to literally, had to triage them, did not know what to do. We had to vacate the hospital, the patients who were already fit for discharge, because we had to accommodate those casualties. And we had been into 72 hours duty, just go to room, have food and come back. So that at that phase taught us, that how resilient you can be. Emotional resilience is what is very much required, and how composed and calm you should be in those scenarios. So that was a big confidence level that the army had developed, and the discipline that the army had inculcated in us.
Definitely, ma'am. Hearing that, your experience has given me a goosebump that, how difficult that situation will be to handle, and how difficult it will be to, keep yourself in a calm, composed feel that where you can treat the patient out there. Because if you get scared, that won't help out their patients. Ma'am, you have served for more than 2 decades in Indian Army, and then transitioning from military nursing to leading a civilian healthcare is a small shift, I believe. So what were the biggest shocks, adjustments, and breakthrough as you have moved from the army structure to the dynamism of corporate hospitals? But like you said, the first thing it teaches you is the adaptability. And I believe that won't be a big shock for you.
No, it was not. But then the question was, as I said, adaptability, discipline was the core principle in army, that you have to be very well disciplined, right? Because that is how the protocol is there in army. So when I left army and I shifted off to a corporate world, there was a huge shift. The challenges were there. It was a dynamic shift. You can say a new paradigm, like shifting from a well-disciplined place to a corporate place where you have to gel with, your liquid general has to be there. Your leadership has to be in you have to maneuver your leadership depending on the situation and the availability and this mindset of the corporate world, right? So that was challenging, yes. But what I felt was, the protocols, what we learned in army, maybe the discipline part, maybe the punctuality, maybe the compassion and all. So it was very easy to incorporate in the civil side, in the corporate side, obviously with slow and steady pace, but did not face any challenge because that determination was there. That if you want to do something good for the society, good for the fraternity, this adaptability has to be there. So challenges were there, but I overcome those challenges because I always believe challenges will be there. Learn from the challenges and learn and try to overcome those challenges. So you will be able to bring out new things in your way. So that is what it is.
I think that's the biggest learning, because wherever every challenge or whenever we get stuck, that gives us a lesson. So how to overcome it, how to move ahead.
Yes.
So I think that's something we all do it, or we must accept and learn from the challenges we
Yes.
face.
Because if challenges are not there, you will not be able to understand.
Yes, ma'am.
Right? And you cannot allow the fear to overcome. Right?
Yeah.
So it is always better accept the challenge, try to work out and see what best possible solutions can fit into that present scenario, and accordingly you do it.
Very rightly said, ma'am. Ma'am, you are a nursing leader, and you know that great nursing team don't happen by accident. They are built. So how do you create a culture where discipline meets compassion and where nurses feel empowered to deliver their best every single day?
See, what I believe is every individual has a leadership quality, right?
Yeah.
It is, you have to identify the best thing in a person. That is one thing. And I believe in teamwork. You cannot work in silo. So it has to be a teamwork. So recognizing the strengths of your team, motivating them, encouraging them, and identifying the weakness and allowing the team to work over the weakness so that that weakness can be converted into strength is what is required. And when you have a team, you allow the team to express out their views, their viewpoints, because they are the young generations. They will have all innovative ideas. Accept those innovative ideas and try to put it into practice. So that is a cohesiveness has to be there. Then encouraging the youngsters to come up with the, if they with their talents, recognizing their good work, right? Appreciating them in front of everybody that yes, you have done a very good job. So these small things matters a lot.
Very rightly said, ma'am. You pointed out very well that every individual have a leadership quality. They have their own highlights in the personality, and if that is being encouraged, highlighted, definitely it gives them a boost and confidence out there.
Yes. So it is, as a leader, it is not that you are just scolding. It as a leader, you take them, you mentor them, and you shelter them, right? Yeah. What is right and what is wrong. You hold their hand and teach them that this is right and this is wrong.
And you shape them.
Yeah.
Ma'am, you are powering the next generation of nurses, and they'll be leaders in the coming future. So you have championed the certification, the training programs, the mentorship across institution. So what quality you believe will define the nursing leaders of tomorrow, and how can young nurses prepare themselves for the role of the real influence out there in the challenging situation?
See, what I believe and think is knowledge, right? Education and knowledge is the most powerful weapon.
Yes.
Right? If you have knowledge, if you are skillful, clinically sound, you can challenge. You know what is right and what is wrong. That is one thing. Second is commitment. You should have a compassion for the work you want to do. Right? So that compassion has to be there. That feeling has to be there. The feeling for the patient. The feeling as if the patient is one of my relatives. Taking care of the patient with that compassion has to be there.
Yes.
Right? The commitment has to be there. The accountability has to be there. If I'm doing something, I'm accountable for it. Unless I'm accountable, then that zeal is not there.
Yes, ma'am.
So you be compassionate, be committed to what you want to do. Whatever little thing you do, be committed. Be accountable and answerable for your deeds. That is what there. And increasing your knowledge. Learning should be a continuous process. It should be never ending. Each and every day should be an opportunity for a nurse to learn a new thing. So when you learn a new thing, you increase your knowledge. You make your horizon wider. Use clinically, skillfully, you develop your skills, and that is how you make your identity in the world. So that is what I believe in.
Ma'am, I believe these are not just the nursing leadership lessons, but it is for everyone out there who's listening to, even for me, even for our audience who's listening. I think these are some lessons which everyone can have in their life to grow, to move ahead, and to be a good leader someday.
Actually.
Yes, ma'am, we know the hard truth of the challenges of nursing leaders. They work in a very difficult situation. There are some staffing gaps, the burnouts and everything. So they face a complex challenges. So what are the toughest realities that nursing leaders must address today? And what bold shifts are urgently required to strengthen India's nursing ecosystem?
See, if you tell me, nurses are with the patient 24/7.
Yes.
At the bedside, right? The doctors come, they take rounds and go away. It is the nurses who are with the patient. They understand the patient's mental condition. They understand the patient's emotions. They understand what is required for the patient. So they are dedicatedly working 24/7. Sometimes the nurses, they don't eat, they don't drink, they don't get time at all because they are so busy.
Yes.
Right? But we do not recognize those little hard works. We do not recognize those efforts. That recognition as per their dedication is not there. That is what I feel as a leader, that the nurses should be recognized. Whatever little effort they are putting into, whatever little work they are doing into, it has to be appreciated. A small gesture has to be there, right?
Yeah.
That yes, the work, because it will motivate the person.
Definitely.
And simultaneously, a healthy environment has to be there. A safe, healthy environment. If I'm the boss of a hospital, the nurse should know that my boss is approachable in any crisis.
Yes.
Right? Yes, you have your own things that yes, you will not compromise into patient safety or patient care. But when a nurse is in need, that time you should be able to give a shoulder to the person. You should be able to pacify that person. Yes, I am there with you. Whatever hurdles are there, whatever tough time you have, I am there with you. You can come and open up. I always believe that any problem is there, a solution will be there. Right? Maybe instant solution, or sometimes it will take time.
Yes.
But if you are having a hearing, that thing in yourself, always the nurses will be there. Okay, in problem, I can go and talk to a person. That is required. Then a healthy environment. A working condition has to be a happy-go condition, not a stressful condition. I should feel good in the morning that today I want to go for work. It should not be that I should not grumble and regret. मुझे आज भी जाना है. ऐसा नहीं होने. That working environment, healthy environment has to be there. You have to take adequate, proper care, right? In need. You have to give them the facilities, right? The leave facilities, and organize small functions for them, right? We have Nurses Week celebrations where we promote the nurses, we encourage the nurses to participate, we recognize the nurses. We do conduct picnics for the nurses. We have celebrations. All festival celebrations are there in the hospital. We celebrate Diwali, we celebrate Christmas and all. Basically, to make them understand that yes, along with work, your social life is also means a lot. Your fun activities also means a lot, because that is how a person ventilates out.
I think, ma'am, that's the balance we need.
Yes.
And like you said, you must be happy while you're waking up, going to work.
Yes.
And that's an environment which is built by the leader. And if a leader is able to do it, that their team people are, happy working in a condition, I think the leader's job is done there.
Yeah, that's what I said. The leader has to be approachable.
Correct.
The leader should know when to say yes, when to say no,
Correct.
when to correct, and when to be with them on ground.
Very rightly said.
You
ma'am.
know,
Yeah. Ma'am, being a nurse requires a lot of inner strength, and that requires a balance of emotion, resilience, and empathy. So, if I have to ask about you, what has kept you grounded, motivated, and mentally strong through 3 decades of intense high pressure service?
see, as I said, my exposure in service was, I started my career in service. So service taught me adaptability, right? In whatever scenario, whatever environment, you have to remain composed and calm. And you have to adapt because that you cannot avoid the scene,
Yes.
right? So adaptability is the best choice, number one. Number two, commitment, right? In service, we are taught, the first mantra in our service, in military nursing services, service with smile. That means you should have a smile whenever you there. So the patient who is sick will also feel good when you that have a smiling face. In corporate, I learned a good gesture, namaskar. Welcoming a patient when you go in the morning rounds, meet a patient and do namaskar to the patient, the patient feels good. So there are few good cultures that you learn during your tenure and your service period. So that was one thing. Since it was a commitment, service before self.
Yes.
In army it is service before self, nation before self.
Yeah.
So that was maybe that was the mantra which grounded me and which helped me to pass through all these stages of life and overcome all the obstacles in career. That is there.
So it was quite deeply inculcated in the subconscious mind. So it was constantly there.
Yes. Whenever a situation requires your commitment towards patient, your commitment towards the organization is much, much more important than yourself.
And once we have we are oriented towards a goal, I think no difficult situation can make you feel, weak at the point of
yes.
time.
If your mission, your vision is very clear and you know that you are committed, you have a passion. See, I have to have passion for my work.
Yes, ma'am.
Right? Until unless I have passion, I will not have commitment. So the passion has to be there. And obviously, see, today the patient is there. Tomorrow I can be also in the same place. So my requirement also may be the same like the patient is having today. So feeling for the patient, thinking what is going in their mind and what they expect out of us is what is required and understood.
I can relate to it, ma'am. From my personal experience, a family member of mine still remembers the nurse who helped them throughout the night after the operation and surgery. So they do remember the doctor, but they said the nurse was always there. Whenever I was in a difficult condition, I called them. She was there. She helped me throughout the night. Otherwise, that night would be very horrible for her. So we definitely, acknowledge and admire and respect the service which nurses gives to the patient.
That is there, actually. It is.
Ma'am, moving on to you are creating a team of nurses out there who'll be leading the nursing community out there. So your journey has inspired thousands of nurses across the country. So what is that one message you would want to give to every nurse out there, whether they're new, mid-career or senior, to carry their hearts as they step into this noble profession?
See, if you want me to a fresher, I would tell the nurse that whatever you do with dedication, do with commitment, and your learning should be an ongoing process. Upgrade your skills so that you can challenge, you can be identified, and your identification will be unavoidable, right? Because knowledge will speak, your experience and skill will it will be reflected on patient care, and your voice will be heard.
Yes.
So that is a message to the youngsters, the upcoming nurses. In the middle level, I would say that the middle level nurses having experience, they should try to build up the leadership skills, right? Mentor the juniors with positivity, helping the juniors to overcome the weakness, right? And not pinpointing
Yeah.
everything, any fault, anything should be taken in a positive manner and should be helped to how to overcome the situation and should not be repeated in future. So that is for the middle level. They should not think now I have come into the middle level, so my responsibility is over. No, their responsibility increases. And the senior level is again one step ahead. Mentoring remains, right? Identify the leaders, youngsters. As I said, each and every individual has some leadership quality. Identify the leaders, identify the potentials among the youngsters, mentor them, give them the career path, help them to develop in that, and bring a future leader. That is what I would like to say.
That's a very great message, ma'am, out there for the nurses who are in the mid-level of service or they're just starting the profession. It's a very great advice for them. Ma'am, with this, we move on to our next segment, which is a rapid fire round. So I'll be asking a few questions and would request you some fiery, quick answers on it. Ma'am, my first question is one word that captures your leadership DNA.
My leadership DNA, it's very difficult to say. One thing you can say, empower and vanguard. I always believe in change, right? Nothing should be stagnant. Changes has to be there. That is how you remain motivated and empowering. I feel that nurses should be empowered. If you empower your nurses, better patient outcome will be there.
Yes, very rightly said. And one non-negotiable habit in your daily routine.
Precision discipline. That means I should know what I'm supposed to do, right? And timely doing things in a well-mannered way, right? Acting proactively, thinking ahead is what it is required.
And the most fulfilling part of being a nurse.
Most fulfilling part of being a
Nurse.
nurse. Restoration.
Yeah. One myth about nursing you wish could be erased instantly.
Feeling subordinate. Right?
Yeah.
That is majority of the time. We feel we are subordinate. We are below, but that is not true.
Correct.
We have to come at par. As I said, knowledge, right? Keeping yourself updated and voicing out is required.
Yes.
We should forget that no, we are at par with everybody.
Correct.
It's not that we are subordinates.
Nursing is a backbone of our healthcare ecosystem.
Yes.
If not a nurse, what alternative destiny would you choose?
Very difficult. Another alternative was to become a lawyer, since my father was a lawyer.
That's also required the same level of precision, I believe.
Yes.
So in 3 words, the future of nursing in India looks to you.
Empowerment, autonomy, and clinically skillful.
Very rightly said, ma'am. And with this, we have come to end of our discussion today. And it was great having you. It was great listening your experience, insights, and expertise out there, ma'am. It has helped me a lot learn from this conversation. I believe it will be a very helpful conversation and learning experience for our audience out there who has just experienced your journey from your words only. So thank you so much for sharing your wise words with us and your journey, your lessons you have learned throughout your journey. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Simran. It was also a great exposure for me. The journey, as I said, is not very easy. nursing profession is not that easy,
Yes.
right? I always tell to my juniors, to everybody, you have to have passion for your work and a commitment. Obstacles will be there,
Yes.
and how to overcome those obstacles is up to you. Whether you want to overcome those obstacles, the decision is yours.
Correct.
Right. So the message what I would like to give to the younger generations, to the nurses, is that keep yourself motivated. Learning should be a continuous process, and never think that you are not less.
Yes.
Right. Power your voice, showcase your voice, and make yourself felt in the society. That is what I would like to say. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you. It was a night excursion.
Thank you.